Okay, so we are back, and right now we're going to look at these. Remember the sentence, is saying the army goes out to catch bokok. And so we have these two verbs, go out and catch. And we're going to look at those verbs and what they might have been in Proto-Yeniseian. But before we do that, Yeniseian verb morphology is mind-bogglingly complicated. So, and you know, what did Joanna Nichols say? What was it? The ket verb is the most interesting linguistic object known, or morphological object known, something like that. But it's really cool, but it's also super complicated. So right now, let's just go over the basics. Now, Yeniseian verbs are conjugated by stacking up to maybe, I think, 8 bits of information, 8 morphemes, we say. 8 morphemes before the stem of the verb, so before the verb itself. So we have a prefixing. We have a prefixing verb system, and it's a prefixing polysynthetic verb system. We have lots and lots of morphemes in one word. So, let's look at verbs in the only surviving Yeniseian language, ket. So suppose, let's look at an easy verb, because of course my ket is extremely basic. Let's look at an easy ket verb. Suppose my friend and I, we have just finished putting up our birch bark teepee, or me and my family member. We put up our birch bark teepee, and we just finished after a long day of work, and finally it's put up. Let's draw our little birch bark teepee here. Yeah. And maybe here's a river because it's always by the river. And here's us. And we can say to each other, in our satisfaction, we can say, I'm going to write Cyrillic. Let's do this. Kos. The bilbidden. And of course, what is this? It is we, the birch bark teepee, have or made. We made a birch bark teepee. What's it is we, and then kos, of course, is birch bark teepee. Dbilbidden is made. Let's look at this verb dbilbidden. Okay. Okay, the bilbidden. So the first person. B is object marker, or it. Il is past tense, or yeah, past tense. And bit is to do or make. And is a plural marker. Because remember, we have our one person or first person over here, but we also need our plural marker. So, so I, it, before, do or make, both of us. So we made it, or we did it. And this is a basic Yeniseian verb. This is a ket verb. This is a Yeniseian verb, and this is how verbs in this language family work. It is very complicated, and it has these cool little bits of information that we stack on before the actual verby part of the verb, the verb stem itself. So that is a quick refresher of how we make verbs in a Yeniseian language. And of course there's this n and this n at the end of the Jie verbs. Remember, what is it? Tirekang, kotoktang, and I remember just reading this, and a big old exclamation point came up over my head. But yeah, I told myself I wouldn't talk about that yet, but I just couldn't resist it. So interesting. So anyway, let's talk about it. So let's look at Starostin's 19. Whoops! So excited that I dropped my pen cap. Let's look at Starostin's 1995 reconstruction of Proto-Yeniseian. And according to Starostin, the verb in Proto-Yeniseian for come or go is this, or the verb stem is yak, yak. And you know, we're not quite sure on. And again, I'm sorry, I'm so excited again. I just can't resist. Doesn't this look a little bit like ik, yak? I mean, again, I'm not trying to say that, you know, again, you said, hey, bro, don't tweak. We just talked about tweaking. Well, you know, I'm not trying to say that Jie spoke Proto-Yeniseian, just that they might have spoken a Yeniseian language. Yak could easily turn into ik, given a few centuries and 1,000 miles. But anyway, anyway, I tangent. Sorry. Okay, yak, and we're not sure about the verb for to catch. But Vovin in 2002 he points to modern ket, the modern ket verb stem for to catch or to take being kas, kas, and or kas or kos, kos, kas, kos, something like this. And if we look in an extinct South Yeniseian language, so spoken down south near Lake Baikal, this s, this s, would have become, t on the same verb. So we would have had kat or kot or something like this. And so, you know, a crew of, again, Yeniseian speaking badasses marauding their way around northern China. If they did speak a Yeniseian language, it makes sense that this language would be closer to southern Yeniseian languages than northern Yeniseian languages. So let's look at if this hypothetical verb kat and this again hypothetical but reconstructed for Proto-Yeniseian verb yak. Let's conjugate these verbs as how they might have been in Proto-Yeniseian. So let's look.